You know, if you watch movies, there's always this beta male guy, if they're romantic movies, and he's a nice guy, and he's the friend, and, you know, the woman tells him everything, but she doesn't like him a bit. She likes the guy who's, got an edge, and who's capable of, I would say, mayhem, but at least of aggression.
Ron, shut up. I want you to apologize to Francis, right now.
Right.
Now, that doesn't mean she wants him to be aggressive, but what it does mean is that she wants him to be able to be aggressive. That would be good. And so he's the romantic target, and so he's the person that's incorporated shadow, and he's someone that is respectable and perhaps useful. And the advantage to having a well-socialized, disagreeable person is that they really don't let much get in their way. But agreeable people, especially if they're really agreeable, are so agreeable that they often don't even know what they want.
This is more characteristic of the males, is that many of them will not allow themselves to experience anger or aggression or to express it because they had tyrannical fathers. You know, and so one of the things they decided when they were 4 was, I'm never going to be like that. It's well, that doesn't work out because, you know, you need the capacity for anger and hostility and aggression and all of that. You have to have that at hand, and you don't fix it by refusing to manifest. All that does is cripple you because you're missing half of your emotional dynamism and a whole chunk of your power. You know, anger is unbelievably useful. It's a tremendous reservoir of power, you know, and you don't want to suppress that. You want to harness it so it's at hand, so that people don't mess with you, because they will, you know. People will push. Well, can't push back. They're going to walk over you. They won't even notice that they pushed you over. So you'll go home, you'll be all resentful and irritated and brood on it, and it's they didn't even notice anything happen. So guys who are really disagreeable, especially if they're physically intimidating and super smart, man, those people are very, very difficult to deal with, you know, because they'll cut you to pieces verbally and they won't budge. And so you have to really ratchet up your preparation before you can withstand that.
And the thing is, you ask a disagreeable person what he wants, say, or she wants, they'll tell you right away. They know. It's this is what I want and this is how I'm going to get it. But agreeable people, they're so accustomed to living for other people and to finding out what other people want and to trying to make them comfortable and so forth, that it's harder for them to find a sense of their own desires as they move through life. And that's nasty, and I think that happens all the time. And so one of the things you have to be careful of if you're agreeable is not to be exploited, because you'll line up to be exploited. And so that just doesn't work so well in that actual world. And one of the things that happens very often in psychotherapy is they often come because they're too agreeable. And so what they get is so-called assertiveness training, although it's not exactly assertiveness that's being trained. What it is the ability to learn how to negotiate on your own behalf. And one of the things I tell agreeable people, especially if they're conscientious, is say what you think. Tell the truth about what you think. There's going to be things you think that you think are nasty and harsh, and they probably are nasty and harsh, but they're also probably true. And you need to bring those up to the forefront and deliver the message. And it's not straightforward at all, because agreeable people do not like conflict. You know, and if you're also more prone to being hurt physically, you also may be loath to engage in the kind of high-intensity conflict that will solve problems in the short term.
So, physical prowess is something, and it's not nothing, that physical confidence that comes along with that as well. But the same thing replicated at the level of the ability to communicate and to think, that's way broader field of battle and opportunity. So this is one thing that isn't taught well, especially to boys. There's nothing that makes you more formidable than verbal competence.
Do you want me to speak? When I point at you, yeah.
And being able to articulate, be able to think, to marshal your arguments, right? It's a battlefield metaphor. Get everything in order, all your information straight. That's part of the reason that rap artists are so popular, especially among disaffected young men, black and white alike, because they're unbelievably articulate. They have this incredible verbal prowess. It's unbelievably attractive.
But having done that, then you should work on developing the skills and viewpoints that exist in the space opposite to your personality, because that's where you're fundamentally underdeveloped. You know, so if you're introverted, well, then you should learn how to speak in public and to learn how to go to parties without hiding in the corner and saying nothing to anyone. You know, and if you're agreeable, then you need to learn how to be disagreeable so people can't push you around.